Good day. I'm going out for a sail. I don't know where to. The sea is my plan. I got up early, got up at 6:30 this morning, and just try and catch the last of the tide. Faffing around, going shopping, get some food, bits and pieces, and yeah, it's now 9:15 by the time I've got everything ready. So we've just set off. Barely any wind at the moment, but it's forecast to be anywhere from sort of 10 to 15 knots. Bang on the nose, so we'll see how we get on. But as I said, I'm not really planning on going anywhere, so it's just a bit of a get out, see what happens. Be out in the water. Absolutely overcast as hell, and should be probably staying this way all day. Don't know if you saw, but we had a serious fly situation. Pulled the mainsail up. Well, got the mainsail out, and there was hundreds of flies in there. I had that once before. It's weird. So yeah, we'll see. Wrapped up a little bit now. It's got a bit windy with the wind on the nose. 10 knots to 12 knots. Currently we're doing 4 knots up the river, punching the tide. To be expected, so it's took us a bit of a while. Just getting to Harwich now. And then just gonna aim to sea really. Head out to the wind farm, Gunfleet Sands, and then can spin round and have a nice waft back is the plan. We will see what happens. Bit of a mist out there, but it's not too bad. Plenty of visibility. Should be quite nice. It's not too cold with the layers on. So first questions, I mean already, I'm like, have I got too much sail up? Full sail. The 15 knots is about the limit for the main. I've been out in 18 in it, and well, gusting up to 18, and we do slam over quite hard, but it's fine. But yeah, just these questions you ask yourself, don't you? It's going to be a lot more difficult to change it out there. Anyway, I thought I'd spare you the boring river that's been done many times. So we'll get out to sea and we'll see what happens, and hopefully turn this engine off. I did see there was a boat behind that was right down the bottom, short tacking up the river, but against the tide it'd take me all day just to get out of the river. So I thought I'm going to motor to past Harwich and the docks, and then I'll switch the engine off and sail whichever direction I can. That's the plan. Right. Okay, so I've decided enough is enough with the engine. We're almost out, although with the tide now rapidly against us, we're doing 1.9 knots. So it might take me another 6 hours to get just at the end of this little spit here, but we're sailing, and that's the aim of today. Play with the sailing. Wind is, you can see the wind vane at the top there. We are as close hauled as we can get on this boat, and obviously with the engine off now, the apparent wind's dropped to 7.5 knots, with probably a knot or so of tide against us. So we're not going to be flying, but it's pleasant, it's quite enjoyable. Probably going to hand steer because that autopilot whir is going to drive me crazy, and we'll see if we can get anywhere. Update shortly. Okay, so I stuck the engine on because we went backwards when I tacked. I just come a little bit further out, so we're now out, which is nice. Winds are comfortable, sort of 10 to 12 knots at the moment, and we are going along at a rapid 3.7 knots. Perfect. So we'll see how this goes. Just getting past Langard, the North Cardinal. Oh, well, this is pleasant. Fall asleep. It's been steady 10-11 knots, just about perfect, just off being close hauled. Super comfortable. It's a very short, minimal swell rolling in, which we're just ploughing through, so that's fine. Just off on the port beam. The only trouble is, you just forget how long it takes to get anywhere at 4 knots. I'm not sure how far I'm actually going to get, because unfortunately I do have to be back, and obviously that's going to involve turning round, and I'd like to sail back. Although we should have tide, the wind will be behind us, so excuse me. So yeah, it should be a roll back, but I could just keep going. Apart from the whirring autopilot, I guess that's where a wind vane would be handy. Although I don't think I could justify a wind vane for sailing on a river and popping out, what, 2 nautical miles out to sea. I don't think that would quite be a wise investment for myself. But what a wonderful way to spend an afternoon. Just that lapping. I'm just judging how long to sail out for, really. Wouldn't mind to keep going till France. Just over there. Debris in the water. Got to watch out for lobster pots around here. Seen all the fishermen coming back this morning. Although I'm sailing and not motoring. Oh, excuse me. You tell how relaxed I am. What riveting footage. Do apologise. And it's just been my face. That's the view. That there is Walton. On the Naze. Oh, it's a bit better. I've just remembered these things have a response setting. As if you're a sailor, you'll probably know that with autopilots, but I completely forgot about it, and it was whirring around like a lunatic. So I've just turned, response was on 5, so I've just turned that down to 1. And we're still holding a fine enough course. And yeah, it barely adjusts. I thought I've got the sails quite nicely balanced, they're not too awry. So yeah, that's better. Sort of say that. just tacked. I don't know if you can see our pattern there. I'll try and put the screenshot on. Now we're sort of heading straight into the waves, or the chop. And as you can see, it looks absolutely nothing. You'll hear a lot of, if you watch sailing channels, which I presume you do, as you've found me, people say that the waves don't look anything. Now, in fairness, they don't. They're like, what, 1.5 feet, 2 foot? But it's short. But if you watch the bow on the horizon, if you can try and get the camera, we are bobbing up and down. It's stopped now, obviously, because I'm filming. Let's see. Here we go. I think every now and then, like, a set comes in, and yeah, it's this short, tiny little chop. Really makes you boing up and down quite a bit. There we go, and you catch it right. Up and down, up and down. It's amazing how much better a boat feels, the motion, when you're sailing versus motoring. Because motoring, you can get quite slammy into that sort of stuff. I think I might have to admit defeat and turn around soon. How far have I come? So in a straight line, I've done 12 miles. But obviously tacking a bit further. God, that's nothing, is it? Well, rock and roll sailing here at the Sailing Chef. Also, obviously, the chef part, I was going to cook today, and I brought some potatoes, I brought some onions and garlic and bits and pieces, and then on the way here I was going to pick up a joint of beef, and I was going to make a slow, a sort of beef roast sandwich. Super easy, just basically chuck it in the pan and forget about it. Stick it in the oven. But I stopped at a co-op, I stopped at a Budgeon's, and I couldn't get any beef, so instead I've had a pasta, which yeah, isn't too enthralling to film. Should have been more prepared, but I only decided I was coming yesterday, and I wanted to go sailing. I was already late. Excuses. But I'm waffling. As far as I think I'm going, I've just turned around. Wind's now on the beam. It's amazing. I mean, how many times I've done this, but it always gets me how when you switch to downwind, stroke on the beam, it just turns the wind off, switches off. Amazing. Now I think we're going to have a rocky rolly trip back, but can't complain. Perfect conditions for a cobweb dust off sail out. Flat as you're going to get it round here. So it is shallow, we're only in 5 metres of water, which equally seems absolutely bonkers considering you feel like you're in the middle of the sea. A gentle waft back it is. So we are heading back in, flying along at 5 knots. Had a bit of a weird course. I've made a big figure of 8. Pleasant. Swell's picking up. I think the wind is supposed to pick up later, about 15, 18 knots, so you can tell because it's getting a little choppier, albeit obviously ludicrously minor, but it's certainly picked up a little bit. Flying. Fortunately, the piece, it's what's nice when you go out to sea, the difference, because you don't have to look around for other boats, channels, shallow water as much. I mean, it's still very shallow around here, but you can just kick back and relax for a bit, whereas in the river you got boats, ships, restaurant barges, buoys, moored boats. Yeah, less relaxing, but it's not too bad. It's a nice big river. Right, sort of close hauled. I've just done that to get us a bit of speed up, and then we need to bear off. Be very broad reaching to running, I guess, when we get back in the river. The wind 13 knots. What a lovely sail. Not too chilly either, considering it's November. Right, I need to bear away. So this boat was leaving the mooring, I saw it this morning, and short tacking up the river. Now they're just here, coming out at Harwich. So I would have got to here if I'd have sailed. Probably not even that, because they've got a bigger boat than I have with bigger sails. Good job I motored. Otherwise it would have been another river video. One question I've got for everyone out there, it's got a Raymarine speed log. As you can see, we've got 0 knots of boat speed, apparently. I cleaned this thing and within 2 days it doesn't work again. Is there anything you can put on it to make it last for longer than 2 days? Back in the water clean. I've had it out, I've scrubbed it, cleaned it like a whistle. Tried putting some of that funny stuff on it that you're supposed to put on it, just doesn't work. I mean, it's not the end of the world because I've got the GPS on the sat-nav, but yeah, I don't know if there's any tricks. Let me know, please. Thank you. So we're now back in the river, just past Harwich, and the wind has disappeared. We've got 0.8 knots and we're doing 2 knots, so we've obviously got 2 knots of current with us. It's really nice wafting, but I think I will conclude the video here. Thank you for watching, as I'll hold this out for as long as possible, and I'm sure you don't want to see me motoring down a river and getting into my berth again. So yeah, it's been a pleasure. Until next time, thank you.